We in the building. We should be in the building. Let's double check the stream. We should be in the building. Double check the stream. Okay, come on, praise. Let's get this thing going.
Can't listen to music all day. I gotta fill up my mind with fresh ideas, unique to keep the street. None of no brothers and sisters will see me in the D. No whistle go cry when out on the streets. All of that times when I go out and teach. Trying to get better to show I can beat. All of my people that's stuck in the curse. Curse is worse, it's spiritual curse. Just that proper outburst. It's the knowledge, experience, miles. Struggle, remember the Lord got power. Over our nation, they can't live a taste. Nigga, black, cool, brown. What do you mean with it? That's now. Hey, ain't no possibility talking to yourself now. I ain't trying to nothing. Yo, all I get is commandments full. Man, I ain't trying to nothing. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Man, that's just not me. Bro, stop fooling around the impression right here. You be talking like that. I mean, you might got a point right there. I ain't gonna lie. Bro, we just gotta stop playing with the Lord. Like, this is just a game. Like, get out the matrix. Like, this shit ain't a game. Here's the thing, though, baby. I'm a real nigga. Now slow down. Cut it like it up. Scripture say the real nigga will be part alive. Man, crispy the day I was born in America. Tremble away, this nigga get a job. Tremble away, I can't go out and rob. Sticking for fun, that's my name is Abba. They tell me it's too hot, but that go down. But I would not, that will make me a clown. Not one shot, not one tittle. Think I'm playing, not a little. Kid of commandments, a judge and spittle. I'm preaching the kid of don't live in the middle.
Shalawam, Shalawam, like how about Shalawam, like I was saying, Rockakash, Tazwan, Kabal, Bimes, Kwame, Walk, Kwame, Allah, but we back at it with another live stream through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai. Now, today's stream, we're going to be talking about idleness. Don't have a lot of times on my hands, so we're going to go through this fairly quickly. But idleness, idleness. So first, I'm going to pull up these links that I do have. Let's go ahead and share the screen. Let's go ahead and share the screen. Okay, so now idleness. Now, matter of fact, let's go to let me get this real fast. Idleness is not good. Idleness, what you're gonna learn through this lesson is that you're destroying yourself. When you have a lot of idleness time and a lot of just idle time in general, you kind of wasting your time. When you're idle, you're okay. Now when you're idle, let's read it. It says Old English express the idea we attach in vain. It says we attach in vain by in idleness. In Old English, it began to acquire the sense of state of being unoccupied, doing no work, or idolent. Similar formation in Old Saxon, whatever that says, right? And I want where it says worthless, right? Look at this one, idle. Old English, empty, void, vain, worthless, useless, right? It says empty, worthless. You follow? German, vain, useless, mere, pure. You follow? Right? So when you're idle, when you have a lot of idle time, you're being idle, you're essentially worthless. You know what I'm saying? You're unpure, you got no work on your hands. And really what you're gonna come to find out is that you're idle. Hey, scrolling on social media and things like that is idle. That's considered as idle time. Unless now we're gonna get into this thing. You want to have hobbies in this truth. You want to have hobbies in your life in general. You want to have hobbies in your life, and that's what's going to keep you going. And we're going to get into the science, the scientific type of stuff in it, all kinds of stuff. But you want to have hobbies and stuff that you can look forward to within your life, and not always be looking toward destruction. Every day you think about bombs hitting America, and the only time you think about the kingdom is when you beating your slaves. You follow? That's the only time you think about something positive. Is the kingdom is you beating your slave. and the positive, you bombs falling in America, and you running just to try to survive. Every dream that you have is you running from the so-called white man. Is you, trying to run to survive, jumping off a cliff. These thought processes are going to end up destroying our people. And what we got to understand, even though we're in this truth, a lot of the generational curses and a lot of the generational trauma that takes a place in our nation is still effective, even on us, even though we're in the truth. You follow? I mean, I go through certain thoughts and ideas when I'm at the workplace when it comes to, dealing with other people, because I understand that I guess what, I have no other option. I have to come in here and clock in. I understand that America is not my homeland and my forefathers were brought here as slaves, but I gotta provide for my family, so I'm gonna have to go and clock in. So these things still happen. You're still gonna have vexation of spirit and all these other kind of things. Now let's get to this first what do you want to call it, source that I have. So this is from headtohealth.gov. So this is a government backed source. So it says, I'm gonna read the overview. It says having a hobby is a great way to spend your spare time and unwind from your daily routine. What's our daily routine? Going to work. You might read while you're at work. I'll say this: reading and studying, and when you fast and stuff like that's not hobbies. That's not hobbies at all. You follow this truth as your life. That's not a hobby. When you're reading the scriptures and you fasting, that's not a hobby. That's your life. So that's a part of your daily routine. So outside of you reading the scriptures and studying and all the other stuff, it's a great to spend your time to unwind. It said whether it's learning a new skill, doing something outdoors, reading, or doing something musical or artistic. I mean, this is biblical right here. If you're learning a new skill, I mean, Paul, he was a tent maker. David, he used to play the instruments, man. Right? Solomon, he used to have all kinds of stuff. Right? He was the king. He was the king, right? Of all other provinces, right? Solomon had music playing for him, all other kind of stuff. You follow? You want to have things that you get into outside of your daily routine. It says doing something outdoors. That's what I love. I love outdoors life, right? To give an example, fishing, hiking, camping, you know, backpacking, whatever you want to call it. All kinds of outdoor activities, just going on walks with the dog, all kinds of stuff. It says spending time. Read on. It says spending time on an activity that you enjoy can improve your mental health and well-being. Research shows that people with hobbies are less likely to suffer from stress, low mood, and depression. And last time I checked, those three things are not in the fruit of the spirit. They're not in the fruit of the spirit. So these hobbies, they work on your mind to help you achieve the goals of that fruit of the spirit. I mean, you gotta put this into perspective. If you're in the scriptures and you're reading and you read the fruits of the spirit and you read what you're supposed to be doing and you read what the Lord demands of you and you don't look up sources, you don't come up with actual substance of control and action to where so you can actually reach that goal, you're idle. You're not doing anything. I know I'm supposed to be losing a couple pounds, yeah, health and good state of body is above infinite wealth, this, that. And you talk about it, and you talk about it. Yeah, I got to do this. Yeah, I got to do that. But I mean, you never even put a second into research on how you get it done, research on how you can make it enjoyable, research on how you can, what it actually looks like, what the outcome looks like, what the middle ground looks like. You don't do it. You follow? Let's read on. It says activities that can get you out and select it. Activities that get you out and select it. And about can select it. It says activities that get you out and about can make you feel happier and more relaxed. Group activities like team sports can improve your communication skills and relationships with others. Now you got brothers, they don't never want to make time to go out and play basketball. They'll never want to make time to go out and bowl or to play football. You don't never want to make time for that. You just want to sit at home with your wife, watch a couple movies, and then other than that, you're doing the work, right? Counsels, videos, and studying. Yeah, brother, come on, brother. You follow? You want to be able to alleviate your mind with these things and help you, feel more relaxed. And when you're more relaxed and you live in a low stress lifestyle, and what I'm saying, you're preventing low moods and things like this, and you're preventing depression. When you do get into situations high stress situations or situations that require instant judgment, you're more likely to come out with a better judgment than when you about to burst. I mean, like literally, I'm really recently was going through a situation at the workplace. You know, Esau, they're oppressing me, they damn taking away my time. You know, they trying to treat me like a slave. That's literally what was going on, and I was extremely angry. And I mean, I was in the workplace. They talking to me. He wrote me up for God knows what, you know, because he knows I'm about to leave, all kind of stuff, you know. And I was literally angry. I was about to burst, man, you know. And when I mean, they could have said anything, and I'd have been, you know, I'd have been out the spirit, cursing them out, all kinds of stuff. Right? You don't want to be in that mood all the time. And every time you're in that mood, you're not always gonna perceive it through the spirit. I perceived it through the spirit, and I knew myself like, listen, I'm ready to bang on one of these Edomites at any minute of time, right? You're not always gonna have that in your mind. Sometimes you're living in it, and you're not gonna be able to perceive it to prevent it. But let's read on. It says your interest may be creative, athletic. I mean, creative. The brother, man, the brother Laokai, that brother is extremely creative. You know, he do filmmaking and all other kind of stuff. You know, me and the brother about to go paintballing tomorrow, most high willing, and looking forward to that. It says athletic, academic, academic. A lot of brothers like just doing research and learning about history and stuff like that, or something distinctively personal. You may choose a hobby that you can do alone or as a part of a group. Whatever your interests are, there is sure to be a hobby out there for you. What matters it's is that it is something you find meaningful and enjoyable. Right? I want to read a little bit more on this. I think meaningful and enjoyable. We can leave this source alone, right? So it's very meaningful and enjoyable, right? Now the point of that is, hey, even Esau, you know, they'll get in there with scientific studies and show you how important it is to have something else that you get into. A lot of the times, I ask brothers, what you be getting into, man? You know, you study, you know what I'm saying, fast and all that stuff. That's what's up. What else you get into? And you give me nothing. You know, I don't do nothing but study the scriptures and hit the plantation, man. I mean, you are bound to be lying, brother. Like, like, come on, brother. Like, movies, it gotta be something. You gotta give me something, brother. Like, ain't no way you don't do nothing but go to work. I mean, what do you? What I mean, so if you go to work and then you're studying, you might get on the phone with a couple brothers. You spend time to eat. I mean, is the rest of your time just spent on your cell phone, or are you working 20? You know, like, I mean, damn. You know, like that ain't it, brother. That's not. I'm not trying to tell brothers and sisters how to live your life, but I'm giving advice on how to better your life when it comes to the scriptures talking about you got to endure to the end. When it comes to the scriptures about giving sound judgment. When it comes to the scriptures talking about the fruits of the spirit and these things, this is my advice on how you can make these things better and what you would be able to apply for the betterment of your lifestyle. So let's read this one. This is from this is a pretty broadly known source. It's from ncbi.nlm.nih.gov. This is another government-backed resource that's just extremely scientific. Now, let's get into it. It's extremely scientific. You know, we're going to get into, you know, the studies of you, the neurological studies, right? The studies of the brain, right? The neural systems in your brain, the neurological studies. All right, so it says pleasure is meditated. See that pleasure is mediated by. Hold on 1 second. Pleasure is mediated by a well-developed mesocorticolimbic circuitry. Mesocorticolimbic circuitry. Well, what that is, that's basically talking about how you might have dopamine and endorphins and all this other kind of stuff, which is a general umbrella. Like the mesocorticolimbic circuitry systems, that is just a general umbrella of your pleasure systems that in your brain. So in the world, you know, you might get into something, maybe playing football or whatever it may be, or even in the street, if you have a hobby and you're getting into it and you do it and you're having fun or whatever it may be, that's your pleasant systems in your brain. You got the dopamine and endorphins going off in your brain, stuff like that. That's how it goes. Because how it activates, I mean, like you'll be doing something and it'll release a certain like fluid or it'll release a certain thought or whatever it may be. and that is it's like a pleasure type of feeling. You feel good doing it. Like when I go out to the highways and byways, I go out there, step on the camp, start reading, see the brothers teaching, right? Put smiles on your face. You feel good, right? It feels fun to do these things. Come on a video, you do the script, you flip the scriptures, you talk about these things, and then when I close out the live, I get that feeling. And when I throw my prayers, I close out the live, I get that feeling of the endorphins, the dopamine. It feel good, right? That's what that umbrella of that long word is. It says, and serves adaptive functions in affective disorders. So adhedonia is a lack of pleasure, or dysphoria is a negative effect can result from breakdowns of that hedonic system. So when you living in a life of dysphoria, or you have a lack of pleasure, scientifically known as anhedonia, right, which is scientifically known as, that's how you get into that living that lifestyle of this long stress, or living that lifestyle of down moods and depression and stuff like that, man. And when we get into these precepts, you're gonna learn that when the Most High gave us the belt, we're not supposed to damn just be like, oh man, we got the belt, man. Yeah, we got the belt. Damn, we got the belt. Damn, slavery, we got the slavery. God, no. Follow, you're supposed to be thinking about, damn, that's why I did this, and that's why this is going on. Okay. All right. You gotta get in there and use your damn brain. Right? That's why I gotta go into system sources like this. So we can learn how to actually exercise our brain and logically thinking about solutions to our problems, right? Because we all got problems. We all sin and go off, right? Thinking about solutions to our issues that we may have to help better us in the spirit and chiefly enduring to the end. I mean, this lesson is something that's just going to help you endure to the end, right? Something that you can just look into, right? Let's speed this up a little bit. It says neuroimagining studies indicate that surprisingly similar circuitry is activated by quite diverse pleasures, suggesting that common neural currency shared by all. Wanting for rewards is generated by a large distributed brain system. Liking or pleasure itself is generated by a smaller set of hedonic hotspots within limbic circuitry. Those hotspots also can be embedded in broader um, anat, 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 anatomical, so like anatomical patterns of valence organization, such as in a keyboard pattern of nucleus accumbens generations for desire, various dread. Okay, let's sit on that. Now, I wanted this part where it says introduction. Watch this. It says the English word hedonic, right, is what we learned about right here, right? And hedonia, a hedonia, right, which is a lack of pleasure. It says the English word for hedonic comes originally from ancient Greek for pleasure, is derived from the word sweet. Today, hedonic refers to sensory pleasures as well as many higher types of pleasure. It says cognitive, right, which is like your cognitive is like the hobbies that you may get into that make you think. Like brothers like to do puzzles, or sisters like to draw paintings and stuff like that. That's cognitive. That's art and stuff like that, right? Right. And then it says social, right? You might like to go bowling or go to the bar. It might not be a great hobby. Or you might like to have social hobbies, so where you socialize with other people, you socialize with your family, your wife, right? It says aesthetic, right? I mean, you might get into clothing, you might get into design, interior design the house. When I first got my house, man, I was pumped, right? Got the green couch, gray couch with the, you know what I'm saying, with the gray carpet, got the great curtains, 75-inch TV, all these other things that the Most High blessed my household with. It was fun aesthetically designing your house. It's fun aesthetically designing what you put in day to day, and moral, right? So guess what? You get these senses of pleasure when you go out there and you go to the highways and byways and you make these things happen for the nation of Israel, man. So it's very important to have these things behind closed doors, right? So let's get into the precepts. Ecclesiastes 7. And let's read verse number, I'm going to start at verse number 14, I believe. 15. Ecclesiastes 7 and 15. All things have I seen in the days of my vanity. There is a just man that perisheth in his righteousness, and there is a wicked man that prolongeth his life in wickedness. Right? So you have a just man, he's gonna perish in righteousness. Because remember, in Ecclesiastes 1, it says, much wisdom is a grief of mine. Right? With much wisdom comes much grief. Right? So you're getting all this wisdom of the breakdowns and all these other things. And guess what? You can't let go about the negative things about it. You can't let go about the outcome of what happens. Because a lot of times when you read the scriptures, you got time. I mean, this is going to date back to 1400 plus BC. I mean, it's back to creation, man. So a lot of the things that you read is the results of what happened. Like, for instance, and people say this all the time, LeBron James. What you see LeBron James as is him as a damn superstar. Nobody seen him when he was in middle school and high school. Nobody knew him but his family, right? And I mean, he got to high school, he started being known and stuff. Nobody seen him there. You follow? Not everybody knows all the mistakes that LeBron James made, right? So when it comes to the scriptures, I mean, you're gonna perish, right, and you're gonna perish in your righteousness from being over righteous was gonna go into. But then you got a wicked man, and guess what? He lives his life to where as though he just don't care. He just kind of flow with the wind, right? It's on the left hand side, but he just flow with the wind. That's Jake in the world, right? Get up, go to work, come home, smoke a little weed, get on the game, might go chill with my wife. You just flowing with the wind, doing what you want to do, right? But you got to do what you want to do in righteousness, and that's the mediation of both. That's what you want to really try to get at. You want to have that mediation of doing what you want to do in righteousness, man. Let's read verse 16. Be not righteous over much, neither make thyself wise. Why dost thou destroy thyself? It says, be not over much wicked, neither be thou foolish. Why shouldest thou die before thy time? You follow? So you have something called folly. All folly isn't sin. All folly isn't technically all. I mean, if I want to go out and go fishing, this is folly. The Lord don't care about me fishing, right? But I mean, He cares that I'm in my right time. You know, I'm in my right mindset, right? Let me get that precept in Sirach 22, right? 1 second, right? That would be folly, but it's not unrighteous folly. Let's go to that in Sirach chapter 22 and verse. Oh, it's like it. Sirach 32 verse 12. There, take thy pastime and do what thou wilt, but sin not by proud speech. Right, so you can do what you want to do, but you don't sin by proud speech. You don't sin by whatever you're doing there. Right, so you can do whatever you want to do in righteousness, as long as it's not sin. Right, and there you want to find your mediation of really means to, enjoy yourself in this truth, to enjoy yourself keeping the commandments of the Most High God. Right, let's get another precept, man. Sirach 14 and 14. Right, Sirach 14 and 14 says, defraud not thyself of the good day, and let not the part of a good desire overpass thee. And we just read about good desires on our in the two sources that we pulled. So you don't want to let these things pass you. You follow? You don't want to let these things pass you. Yeah, you always got to put the Most High God first, always. But that doesn't mean if you have an opportunity to go out for 30 minutes and to enjoy your times with your brothers, you choose to start a fast and stay in the crib when you could have fasted tomorrow, or you could have fasted the next day if it would have been the Most High will. All right, or you could have fasted earlier in the week. But the one time your brother scheduled you something with you, I'm like, literally, brother, I'm trying to go hoop next week. What's up with that, man? You say trying to go hoop on what day? On Wednesday? Wednesday, what time? 8 o'clock? All right, Ben. Let me think about it real fast. Let me check my schedule. Boom. Brother, go check your schedule. Starting that fast on Wednesday at 8 o'clock. Yeah, I found out I got to fast that day, brother. Like, come on, brother. You know what I mean? Like, that might not be 100% realistic, but I mean, like, God, hey, Shalawam, Shalawam. That's not, come on. You know, that's not the kind of lifestyle that you want to get into. You don't want to get overpass you, because you're going to live that lifestyle of these sources that we read. You're going to live that lifestyle of having a dysphoria. You're going to live that adhetic lifestyle of having a lack of pleasure within your life. And you're destroying yourself in your righteousness, right? Yeah, it's righteousness, but hey, guess what? God, man, wisdom puffeth up, right? And God hates pride. So all righteousness ain't to your prophet. I mean, the Lord said He's coming to judge the earth, right? in righteousness. And guess what? If you don't make it, guess what? That righteousness that the Lord judged the earth with wasn't for your profit. Right. So every righteousness or every righteous act that you're trying to get into may not be for your profit in your lifestyle. Right. So let's get another precept in the book of Jeremiah 29. Right. Let's go to Jeremiah 29. And I'm gonna start at verse number 5. All right. I'm on a time crunch trying to get through these. Jeremiah 29, verse 5. It says, build ye houses. Let me start at verse 4. It says, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, unto all that are carried away captives. It says, whom I have caused to be carried away from Jerusalem into Babylon. Build ye houses and dwell in them, and plant gardens, and eat the fruit of them. Take ye wives, and beget sons and daughters, and take wives of your sons, and give your and give your daughters to husbands, that they may bear sons and daughters, that ye may be increased there and not diminished, and seek the peace of the city, whither I have caused you to be carried away captives, and pray unto the Lord for it. For in the peace thereof shall ye have peace. So guess what? The Most High God wants you in peace. Right? That's what's going on. It's the time and the place for everything. It's a time and place to be in the house of mourning. And guess what? It's a time and a place to enjoy yourself and to be in the house of mirth. It's a time to everything. It's a time to do these things. So the point is that the Most High God wants you to be happy right now. The Most High God wants you to enjoy your time right now. He wants you to enjoy your life, but it's always in righteousness. I mean, brothers will look at you like this. I mean, I go like this, say, hey, brother, I'm trying to have a good time. Brother, I came out here to have a good time. Brother Yasha Ali, he came to Baltimore to have a good time. I came to Orlando to have a good time. I went to Texas to have a good time. And brothers look at you like, man, that brother, man, he in the world, man. He ain't really about to. I mean, goddamn. I mean, we about to literally go to camp, and I'm gonna shake the hand and be at camp all day like this. Does that mean I spend the rest of my time, of my day, and my week like that? No, brother, because you're destroying yourself and your righteousness. All right, you're not gonna endorse it like that. You're not gonna do it. It's not gonna happen. Why? Because you're not applying the scriptures correctly. The scriptures say the Lord wants you to enjoy your time. You want to seek the peace of the city that you go into, because of that peace is your peace. All right. And guess what? All hell's breaking loose. All hell's breaking loose. And guess what? My mindset, I'm not living in a high stress situation all the time, to where my mindset, as soon as all hell breaks loose, I done made a hasteful judgment, and now I'm going off. No, guess what? I sought the peace of the city. So when hell actually broke loose, I actually saw it from a different perspective. Right? I mean, literally, if I'm in a fight and I'm like, yeah, what's up? The guy that's like, what's up? And he about to do all of that. He flexing his muscles. And guess what? He's usually the one that might lose, man. Right? But the guy that's like, listen, man, he kind of like this, right? Because you in a fighting stance, you like this, like, brother, all right, brother, and then he hit you with a quick 3, man. You find out. That's how that goes. Right? When you enter yourself into a different perspective and you look at the world from a different perspective, it alleviates you. It allows you to be able to utilize different avenues of judgment. If I'm always in a hot mind, destructionness and slavery that, when all those break loose, guess what? You damn near one track mind. But if I'm able to alleviate myself and breathe and to take a breath and to relax a little bit, I'm able to look at these things like, okay, when this happens, this is going to happen. I already know it's going to happen, brother. I'm just sit back and wait for it, because we got to wait for the Lord regardless, right? Because we don't know the hour in which the Son of Man shall appear in his righteousness. Does that make sense? So when it comes to these things, you want to look at it from a different perspective, right? Let's go to Luke 21 and 34, right? Luke 21 and 34, and let's get the just balance of this thing, right? Luke 21 and 34. All right, Luke chapter 21, verse 34. And take heed to yourselves, meaning what? You want to be able to take heed to yourself, right? You don't want to just never examine yourself. You want to have too much fun, is what it's going to tell you. It says, at least at any times your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life. And so that day come upon you unawares, right? For as a snare shall it come unto all of them that dwell on the face of the whole earth. So you don't want to be overcharged with euphoria. You don't be overcharged with euphoria. The only times you hop into the scriptures, only times you hop into that serious mindset is on the Shabbat. right? You ain't fast this week. You know what I'm saying? You ain't studied the scriptures about destruction this week. You ain't looking no prophecies this week. I mean, golly, like you don't want to be overcharged with these things. It's a time and a place for everything, and that's what the person that's watching this video, that's on your plate. You got to find that mediation in your life to where as though you can enjoy your hobbies, right, and avoiding that idle time, right, and always having something on your plate for you to do. You got to find that mediation between that and the house of mourning and other things that are required of you as an Israelite. All right, we're always supposed to be keeping the commandments, but when it comes to things that occupy your mind, you gotta find that great mediation of enjoyment versus not enjoyment. Literally, right? It's always joyous to serve the Lord, but guess what? I'm not in a joyous mindset on the Day of Atonement when I'm fasting, whenever it is. You follow? You gotta find that great mediation, and that's on your plate, man. Right? You don't want to be overcharged with these things, and then it don't come out of nowhere because you was in a different perspective looking at these things, but you weren't really watching. You kind of just let it on the back burner, right? You had that out of sight, out of mind spirit. You can't have that out of sight, out of mind spirit because then your heart is going to get overcharged. Let's go to Luke 16 and 8. Luke 16, verse 8. It says, "And the Lord commended the unjust steward because he had done wisely. For the children of this world are in their generation wiser than the children of light." So this should never be a reality for you as a man or you as a woman. The children of the world should never be wiser than you. It should not be like that. It should not be like that. It shouldn't. I mean, it do not matter. It can even be the wisdom of this world. They should still not be smarter than you. Literally. If I'm on the highways and byways and a brother is trying to kick some damn shock knowledge to me, and he say something, and I'm like, "No, brother, that ain't true. No, brother." And then he prove it, and then I'm like, "Damn, man, shit." Right? That's not gonna happen, but you don't never want to end up in that situation. As a man in this truth, you want to be you want to know everything in righteousness. You want to know everything, right? I mean, you can't be a man in the truth if you don't know how to file your taxes. You don't know how to get a business loan. You don't know how to just make stuff happen. All right. You want to be a man that knows everything in righteousness, like to the best of your ability. The children, even the children of this world and their generation should not be wiser than you. You follow? They should not be Shalaki. It should not be wiser than you. Now, in certain circumstances, it might happen. If a brother doesn't do anything but study politics, he might know a little bit more. But that should never ever be the scenario or the case. Verse 9, "And I say unto you, make yourselves friends of the mammon of unrighteousness, that when ye fail, they may receive you into everlasting habitations." Right? So guess what? Say I got a friend and he's into politics. And that's all he down talk about. All he talk about is politics. Right? And I get on the phone with him. Sup, King, what's going on? Hey, did you know the Chinese economy is about to fall pretty soon? Damn, hold up. Where you find that out at? I haven't got a chance to find that out yet. But guess what? He giving me the breakdown. And this brother don't wear no fringes. He still eat pork. He's not in the truth. But guess what? You making yourselves friends in the mammon. You're learning certain things that you wouldn't have learned from a brother in the truth. It's literally brothers in the truth that do not know how to change a tire. So does that mean I guess what? I gotta find somebody in this truth and nobody else to come and teach me how to change a tire? No, I'm not gonna call my damn dad. My dad, he might know how to, apply, give me a better job application, right? He might teach me how to damn fill out things of this world and applications of this world. But guess what? No, I gotta find a brother in the truth to do it. No, you gotta make yourselves friends of the man. You at your workplace, there's opportunities at the workplace. When you go to your workplace, that's when you talk about business opportunities. That's when you do it. Right? Not with the brothers. You can do it with the brothers on the highways and byways, but your chief opportunity is when you're at work. Oh yeah, do you know the CEO of the company? Oh, do you know you read the mission statement, right? Think about that. If I go and apply for this, I think I might be in there. I got this degree and stuff like that. What you think? And they give you come on, brother. You gotta be in that mindset, right? Right, gotta be in that mindset of making yourselves friends with women. Not too much. Not too much. I'm not at the workplace giving my tugs. No. I'm still quiet at the workplace, right? I'm still to myself in my own lane. A trait that I have that a lot of people tell me about is that I'm unapproachable. It is what it is. It is what it is. Only time I'll be approachable is if it's like an interview or if it's something that we can actually have a dialogue about. I'm not still not getting into wicked conversations and nothing like that. Right. So, like I said, you want to do what you want to do in wisdom and righteousness. All right. So let's read on Ephesians 5 and 19. Right. All kinds of hobbies that you can get into. It's all kinds of things, right? All right. All kinds of hobbies that you can get into. Right. Ephesians 5, verse 19. Speaking to yourselves in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, singing and making melody in your hearts to the Lord. Right. So you want to be able to sing and make melodies in your hearts to the Lord. And it says, giving thanks always for the things unto God and the Father in the name of our Lord Yahweh Shah Mashiach. Right. So, and guess what? David playing a harp. Right? He playing all kinds of stuff. Right. David playing all kinds of instruments. Right. So you can be playing. You can be doing music. Right. You can be doing outdoor activities. You can be right. You can like taking care of pets and stuff like that. You follow. You can like cooking. I mean, it's all. I mean, it's so many things. I mean, it's so, many stuff, so much stuff you can get into. Like everything has a world. Like when you come to the scriptures, you learn about John 3:16. This is the world of Israel. You go to your precepts, you have worlds of these things. If you literally go on YouTube, you have a world of trucks, a world of you have the automotive industry. You have a world of damn electronics. You have a world of damn aesthetics as clothing. You have a sea world, a damn land world, or animal kingdom. You'll have a damn, I mean, you'll have a world of damn pencils and pens. You'll have a world of kitchen appliances and recipes and cooking. You'll have a world of TVs. I mean, literally, people literally make videos to show you what's the best. Like, you about to go and buy something. You say, should I buy this one? Should I buy? You got a world of phones. Should I buy this one? Should I buy this one? What's this one versus this one? I mean, like that stuff. Is hobbies and stuff that get your brain working. All kinds of stuff that you can get into, right? It says, speaking to yourselves in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, singing and making melody into your hearts and to the Lord, right? So you always want to be in that mindset to where it's like, hey, guess what? It's all praise to the Most High. Right, the Wadi Like I played my song in the beginning of this, in the beginning of the live, right? I played my song in the beginning of the live. I mean, hey, always giving thanks to the Lord, right? I'm giving thanks to the Lord with the song, man. Right? You always want to be singing songs and giving thanks to the Lord in your hearts, man. Always. Right? It says, let's get Ecclesiastes 2 and 24. Get two more precepts and I'm gonna close out. All right, Ecclesiastes 2 and 24. It says, therefore, so there is nothing better for a man that he should eat and drink, and that he should make his soul enjoy good in his labor. This also I saw that it was from the hand of God. Right. So it's good that a man should eat and drink and enjoy your actual labor, man. Right. You don't want to just labor all the time and not get nothing from it. You follow? You want to actually enjoy the labor that you actually get into. All right, let's get two more precepts. Job 10 and 1. All right, and I made this reference earlier to whereas though when the Most High gives you the belt, you gotta look at this belt in a different perspective. Job 10 verse 1. My soul is weary in my life my soul is weary of my life. I will leave my complaint upon myself. I will speak in the bitterness of my soul. So if anybody knows about living a bitter life, it's Job. Right? It says, I will say unto God, do not condemn me. Show me wherefore thou art contendest with me. So a lot of the times, right? I gotta say this. A lot of the times, brothers that catch hell, and I say, yeah, all praise to the Most High, right? Brother down, almost get into an accident, car flip over 10, 15 different times, but man, all praise to the Most High. Brother, you're looking at the scripture in the wrong perspective. If I have a flat tire and then I lose my job and I can't pay my rent, yes, all praise to the Most High, I'm catching hell, but that's not a positive thing to be looking at like that. Job was catching hell, and guess what? He said unto God, shew me wherefore thou condemnest with me. Meaning, like, now, can you explain to me what's going on? Like, please give me the answers, give me the results. I want to learn about why I'm going through this so I can prevent these things. All right. You don't go through hell and say, oh, praise to the Most High, continue my affliction. That's like tempting the Most High, if you ask me. Right? You go through things and you catch in hell and you saying to the Most High, like, okay, well, like, what's going on? That's when you examine yourself. And that's when you take heed to yourself, as we read earlier. In verse 3, it says, Is it good unto thee that thou shouldest oppress, that thou shouldest despise the work of thine hands, and shine upon the counsel of the wicked? Hast thou eyes of flesh, or seest thou as man seeth? Are thy days as the days of man, and thy years as man's days? That thou inquirest after mine iniquity, and searchest after mine sin? Thou knowest that I am not wicked, and there is none that can deliver out of thine hand. So guess what? Job is saying, I mean, golly, are you having pleasure from putting us in oppression, essentially? Are you having pleasure from giving us the belt, essentially? Right? That's how Job is inquiring at the Most High. Job is not inquiring at the Most High like, yeah, all praise, give me some more affliction. Yeah, I know you like giving me it. No, the Most High said it's his great joy to give us the kingdom, right? The Most High enjoys, the Most High loves giving us the fruits of the Spirit and giving us those spiritual benefits to where so we can praise Him better, right? We can praise Him more efficiently. That's what the Most High actually enjoys, right? The Most High wants to see you persevere. The Most High wants to see you successful. But guess what? You got to get the belt to keep yourself humble. You got to get the belt to keep yourself pushing forward, to keep yourself. I mean, we're under the curses. You got to be the curse to keep us humble so we can get to the eternal way to glory. You follow? But if we don't have this damn belt as if the Most High likes just giving us the belt. That was never the message of the scriptures. That was never the message of the scriptures. You follow? So when you inquire at the Most High for these things, you inquire that you understand where it's coming from and how you can alleviate these things from going on. Let's go to this last precept in Psalm chapter 30. It was Job saying that, and now let's get King David saying it. In Psalm 30, and I gotta find the verse. I believe I was in verse 9. Yep, Psalm 30 and verse number 8. I cried to thee, O Lord, and unto the Lord I made my supplication. What profit is there in my blood? When I go down to the pit, shall the dust praise thee? Shall it declare thy truth? Hear, O Lord, and have mercy upon me. Lord, be thou my helper. So guess what? David is saying, Lord, if I die, what profit is in it? Because remember, David, I mean, he caught hell. I mean, a lot of the times, David, his life was on the edge. In the world, they said that he was living like a fast lifestyle, right? He was living a fast lifestyle, right? David, he was always got something going on. David going to war, dealing with the children of Israel. David had to deal with his wives sometimes. You follow? I mean, he lived a fast lifestyle, right? And he said to the Most High, hey, guess what? What profit is there in my death? Right? What profit is there in me? Like, who's going to praise you? Like, I'm going to praise you. So guess what? David, even David himself, he actually saw the benefit of him being alive, right? David himself, he actually saw the positivity behind his life, in which the Most High gave him, right? He cherished that, right? I cherish my life being alive, right? I don't want to die. Nobody should want to die, right? If you get that mindset, you're not understanding the scriptures correctly. You shouldn't want to die in this truth, right? You should want to be alive. You should want to be alive to praise the Most High God. Because when you die, is the dust going to praise you? Is the dust going to praise the Most High God? Because nobody is going to praise the Most High God how you're going to praise the Most High God, right? And that's the whole message of the video, right? You want to avoid idle time and being worthless and keep yourself occupied with things that's going to allow you to better achieve your goals, right? I say this all the time. When you are making goals for yourself, that's the best way to gauge your growth. If I said, boom, I got a weekly goal. That weekly goal, and guess what? That allowed me to see how much I grew within a week. If I got a yearly goal and I achieved that yearly goal, that allows me to see how much I grew within a year, right? So when you setting these things, that allows you to go someplace. It allows you to do some things. So when we're talking about idleness and creating hobbies for yourself and not being over righteous and destroying yourself and actually enjoying your life, right, and actually seeking the welfare of your life, it allows you to better achieve those fruits of the Spirit. It allows you to better achieve and to actually reach your goals and to actually reap the benefits of those fruits of the Spirit, right? So that's all I got for the brothers and sisters. Shalom, 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 shalom. I hope